CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Good evening. Police are taking a new approach to deal with alleged extortionists targeting the South Asian community. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, police say deporting the accused instead of charging them is proving effective.
Edmonton police say extortions targeting the city's South Asian community stopped for 7 months after 7 people were charged through Project Gaslight.
In the spring of 2025, we saw a cluster of these extortion events now reemerge.
Lessons learned from Project Gaslight led Edmonton police to work with other agencies as it embarked on the new investigation called Project Extortion.
Because we understand that the criminal organizations that are responsible for these extortions travel across this country and seek to escape punishment by moving to different jurisdictions.
5 people were arrested, 2 of them, a 22-year-old man who police call the local ringleader and a 26-year-old man, have already been deported.
Working with CBSA, we utilize pertinent immigration legislation to facilitate the removal of these individuals from Canada.
Police say dozens are linked to the criminal network involved in the local extortions.
The structure of these groups is a tiered, predatory network of organized crime where the risk is local, the revenue is global.
The CBSA has initiated 372 extortion-related immigration investigations. 51 of those are directly tied to this investigation in Edmonton.
The CBSA can't remove a foreign national from the country until criminal charges are resolved or, if convicted, their sentence complete. While police say charges are important, involving the CBSA helped them resolve the problems faster.
Public safety is first and foremost, and you have complainants that are being terrorized in many ways through the actions of these individuals. You try to figure out how can you nullify and eliminate that threat.
That's probably harsher than any jail term that they would ever get. I would suggest that consequence is, if it is a forever ban from Canada, that's a huge consequence, and a lot of people don't want to risk that.
Criminologist Dan Jones says it's an interesting approach, but questions what happens if the individual wants to return to Canada in the future if charges aren't laid.
Until you get proven guilty in court, either by judge or judge and jury, you are presumed to be innocent.
Since the arrests, police say the extortions by this group have stopped in Edmonton. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Police have found the truck they believe was involved in a deadly shooting on Highway 2 last weekend. Police say Saturday afternoon, south of Leduc, some sort of altercation took place between a pickup truck and a car. They say the car was shot at and the 22-year-old driver was hit and killed. Police are still looking for the shooter. They're looking to speak with anyone driving through that area around 2:50 p.m. who may have seen something. Crews battled a house fire in Edmonton's Garneau neighborhood this afternoon. Firefighters were called to this infill property on 108th Street and 85th Avenue around noon. It took crews about 30 minutes to get the flames under control. No injuries have been reported and no word yet on what sparked that fire. Mounties are investigating the Edmonton business at the center of Alberta's healthcare procurement controversy. CTV's Tim Brooke has the details.
For the past 2 days, these police vehicles have been outside MHCare's headquarters. Inside, officers are searching the building as part of their ongoing investigation. The medical supplier has found itself at the heart of a provincial procurement controversy. Its owner, Sam Maraish, invited high-ranking members of the UCP government to playoff hockey games. And MHCare has been awarded more than $600 million in AHS business.
A judge would have signed off and said, yeah, there's reasonable grounds to believe that the search will produce more evidence of a crime. So that's a pretty big step to go forward with an investigation.
The RCMP tells us this is just one of multiple search warrants being carried out. It's unknown where this investigation goes next, but right now it's conversation topic number 1 in the legislature.
Does the Premier still think corrupt care is a conspiracy theory?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The member opposite well knows that we cannot and will not comment on policing matters.
A lawsuit was filed by the former head of AHS over her firing last winter after she raised concerns about Maraish and senior UCP officials. She claims some provincial contracts were purposely inflated and then given to government friends. At the time, the allegations led to the resignation of one Alberta minister who shared her concerns. All parties denied any wrongdoing, and none of the allegations have been proven in court.
This is an AHS matter looking at AHS personnel, and we would ask for everyone to be patient while the RCMP does its work.
The government fired the AHS CEO and board for daring to ask questions about Sam Maraish. That was not AHS, that was the government.
A note to Maraish's legal team Thursday went unanswered. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
A tense afternoon at Edmonton City Hall for Edmonton Police Chief Warren Dreichel. A couple dozen people attended a police commission meeting to tell the chief what they thought of his decision to take a professional trip to Israel. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, the chief is standing by his decision to go.
Congratulations, Chief. You divide the community tremendously.
A full gallery for this police commission meeting. About 30 people signed up for the public feedback portion. Almost everyone spoke about Chief Warren Dreichel's recent trip to Israel.
On behalf of the Somali community, on behalf of the Muslim community, on behalf of the black community, we are against this thing and we feel betrayed.
How hard would it have been for the EPS chief to say, I acknowledge that what I did has caused mistrust and pain in a time when the government of Israel has been accused credibly of genocide?
Last month, Chief Warren Dreichel visited Israel with a delegation from the Major Cities Chiefs Association, which paid for the trip.
There were site visits to locations across the country. There was meeting with community members, meeting with police officers.
Dreichel says it was about learning from police who work in a complex environment, and he did not anticipate such strong backlash in Edmonton.
There was a lot of good exchange amongst peers about things that we're doing in our cities in North America. I think the trip contextualizes a lot of things that we see.
The public comments weren't all critical. Two people came to praise the chief, including Stacey Levitt-Wright with the Jewish Federation of Edmonton. She says support for the chief is strong despite the imbalance at the meeting.
This is not an accountability crisis. This is a pressure campaign. He is being held to a standard that would never be applied if this destination had been anywhere other than Israel.
Commission Chair Ben Henderson, who approved the trip, has committed to re-evaluating police travel policies and rebuilding trust with Edmonton's Muslim and Jewish communities. Neither he nor Chief Dreichel are stepping down, as requested by more than 24 groups representing local Muslims.
Is there an apology coming?
I'm not going to speak about that right now.
So you're not sorry?
What can I be sorry for?
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Parkland RCMP have charged a man with sexual assault in a case involving an underage girl. An investigation determined there could be other victims dating as far back as 1984. Mounties say 69-year-old Patrick Willis Fair is from Spruce Grove. He's facing 5 sexual assault charges. Police say they hope releasing his photo will encourage any other potential victims to contact them. Willis is described as about 5'11" and 176 pounds. He has a slender build with white hair, and he usually wears glasses. A woman in Edmonton whose husband had a medically assisted death last month is worried others could soon be denied that same choice. He had Parkinson's dementia and was approved for MAID due to his decreasing quality of life, something that likely wouldn't happen under proposed UCP legislation. CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports.
They suggested Pilgrims because they thought it would be a really good fit for Mike.
Mike Pangman's final months had moments of brightness, including the days he attended an adult wellness program at Pilgrims Hospice Society. However, his wife says in January, Mike decided he wanted a medically assisted death after years of living with Parkinson's dementia.
At night, before he went to bed, he would be looking all over this house for something, but he didn't know what he was looking for. He couldn't be as physically active as what he used to be. He was a skier, he was a hiker.
Sharon Pangman says MAID was something she and her husband discussed since he was first diagnosed in 2019. She says Mike was adamant he did not want to go into long-term care.
And he had the opportunity to see what his life was going to be like, what was right around the corner for him, and didn't like it, and said, I don't want that for my family, and I certainly didn't want it for himself.
She says 2 different doctors visited their home before he was approved. Then, on Friday, February 20th, he died by MAID.
It was a day that was filled with music that he loved, food that he loved, family, friends. It was very much a celebration of his life. This was a song that Mike and his music therapist wrote to me that Mike sang at his passing.
Sharon is disappointed others in Mike's position won't have the same opportunity. The province's new MAID legislation includes a number of restrictions. One is foreseeable death within 12 months.
We don't want to create unnecessary obstacles for those who are eligible under, again, the original intent of MAID, but we also want to find balance.
In recent years, the province says MAID deaths have more than doubled, going from 555 deaths in 2020 to 1,242 deaths in 2025. Pangman believes Alberta should be providing even more access, giving people like her late husband the ability to make an advance request ahead of their condition deteriorating. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
And the province says the new bill is not retroactive, meaning people who have already applied or have been approved for MAID can now move forward with the process. Edmontonians are on the hunt for cheap gas as prices at most stations rise above $1.60 a litre. CTV's Connor Hogg took a trip to one of the most popular pumps in town to speak with drivers willing to put in the time to get a deal.
The line never seems to end at this Domo gas station on 118th Ave that's becoming something of a local landmark for the lowest prices around.
I downloaded Gas Buddy, the app, and I did that last night, and so that's purely why I was drawn to this location.
The petrol procession getting longer and longer as our cameras hung out.
The price is a little bit lesser than the other petrol pumps.
The only reason I am motivated is I have a baby napping in the back seat, so I have time to kill.
I think it's 15 cents cheaper per liter.
Normally, I would not waste time doing this.
Extra time in the queue is giving customers some moments to ponder things, such as planning their days to be a little more fuel efficient.
I used to keep 2 vehicles. I stopped to 1.
I'll go try and hit the grocery store and another errand, kind of in the same loop.
While most are making do with this pain at the pump for now, an economist I spoke to says Edmontonians shouldn't be expecting these prices to go down anytime soon.
This could extend for most of 2026. I don't want to be a doomsayer and predict disaster, but it's hard to see how somehow this just goes back to business as usual.
Economist Moshe Lander says no end in sight to ongoing instability in the Middle East will likely cause extended increases in gas prices. He predicts the tipping point for many could come later in the year when summer electricity bills come into the picture.
We haven't even gotten through a visa cycle yet, so you haven't even gotten the bill with all of the extra gas costs.
Lander expects to see more carpooling and work from home requests if prices stay high over the coming months, as well as more people cutting back on unnecessary drives.
Why don't you walk to the grocery store and then take an Uber back?
I need to go somewhere close to where I live. I walk, man.
It is what it is, yeah. We have to live with it for now.
Many hoping those big numbers are a little smaller soon. No, I wanted a receipt. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next on CTV News, a league of her own. A local college basketball coach becomes Nate's first to win a national award. Also just ahead, a hospital for kids designed by kids. Local students share their visions for the new stollery.
I decided to do some curvy walls, which are fish tanks. It will be less scary for kids when they're coming to the hospital.
Good evening, folks. Spring equinox is tomorrow, and it will be a snowy start to spring, especially around Edmonton and areas off to the west. This could be a pretty ugly Friday, actually. Temperatures will cool off as well for the next couple of days. We'll take a closer look at all that and get some estimated snowfall totals in just a few minutes.
Friday on Your Morning, we'll tell you how much money you need to retire and why it may be less than you think. Plus, a W5 investigation into an international drug syndicate turning Canadian teens into unwitting drug mules.
The mayor of a community east of Edmonton says they were not given enough notice that the community's only school would be closing. The Buffalo Trail Public School Division says it has made the difficult decision to close Del Norte School in Innisfree at the end of this year. The school has 54 students in grades 1 through 12. The board says schools are reviewed every year to assess enrollment and the facilities. Innisfree's mayor says the school and community would have mobilized with proper notice of a possible closure.
We come together for our school. Every event, every need, the community meets it. The playground was funded by the community. The new pickleball court that went in, I think 3 years ago, funded by the community. Numerous Chromebooks in the school funded by the community. Every volleyball in the school is funded by the community. If there had been communication with us, we would have worked to find that. But when we found out late January, there just wasn't time. What this means to our community is it throws into question the sustainability and the viability of the village of Innisfree.
Evan Raycroft says Innisfree is now working on other options to keep Del Norte open. The next closest school is Manville, which is about an hour away if you're riding on the school bus. Students at Waquentawin School in downtown Edmonton are sharing their visions for the new Stollery Children's Hospital. The CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports their ideas prioritize what it means to be a kid.
Where's his nose? Grade 4 teacher Kara Wees knows all too well what it's like to stay in a hospital long term.
My daughter Marigold was hospitalized at the Stollery when she was 7 weeks old. She had pneumonia and we lived in the Stollery for 40 days.
It's why she decided to turn her experience into a project for grade 3 and 4 students at Waquentawin School. They were asked to design parts of the new Stollery Children's Hospital.
Building hospitals is complicated, so really the ability for kids to distill it down to its sort of primary elements is really amazing.
We can design a really functional medical hospital, but we don't think like kids. And so if we are trying to design a space that is specifically for children, we always want to be mindful that the design is functional to kids.
Designs and ideas meant to replicate real hospital wards, bringing their visions to life.
For my oncology unit, I decided to do some curvy walls, which are fish tanks. It would be less scary for kids when they're coming to the hospital. It would be nice if there was free snacks, but they're actually how about a bag of chips at least?
Their projects used 3D models with different types of patients and hospital beds. Who's that sitting in the hospital bed?
I'm pretty sure that's Spock. He's for scale.
It was also an opportunity to learn from real people who work in and use the hospital.
Whether it was engineers or people that work at the Stollery or families that have experienced the Stollery, they really got a holistic picture of what could work for families.
It feels really good because I'm helping kids, so it's kind of like a Stollery for kids by kids. I love that we're helping kids that are our age. Makes me really proud.
A big sentiment for Wees, coming from these mini hospitals.
I feel like they also worked a bit harder on this project because it meant something to me.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
For the first time ever, the NAIT women's basketball head coach has won Canadian Coach of the Year. Kira Lyons was presented the award at the Canadian Collegiate Athletic Association National Championship, which is currently underway. During the regular season, her team tied for first in the Alberta College League with a 17-3 record. She was named the conference's Coach of the Year. Lyons says while it's her name on the award, it's a team accomplishment.
We win together, we lose together, but everybody is held to the exact same standards. And we do everything together on and off the floor. And I think that just a culture of love and of discipline and hard work, wins are a symptom of that.
NAIT plays tomorrow night, and if they win that game, they will have a chance at the national bronze medal. When we return, Robo Free Throw. Local students design a robot for a basketball competition.
A lot of them have said to me multiple times that it was some of the best experiences that they had during their high school career.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. It was a warm one again today, but there is some cooler air dropping in, not only at the surface, but in the mid and upper levels as well, as this upper ridge starts to slump to the south. And that means after the last couple of days, this all being rain in Edmonton, it's going to be snow. Flurries and light snow through the overnight period into tomorrow morning. Some heavier snow back to the west. We'll show you the snowfall warning in a second. There may be some sloppy roads tomorrow morning for the morning commute. I'm not convinced there's a ton of accumulation on the ground in the city. Further west, you'll already have several centimeters of snow on the ground by tomorrow morning. I think most of the potential for accumulation comes sort of midday through the afternoon and into the evening hours on Friday. And that could be several centimeters of fresh, wet snow by the end of the day Friday. By Saturday morning, still a slight risk for the Edmonton area, but most of that snow pushes off to the southwest. So take a look at some of these snowfall estimates. Not as much off to the east of Edmonton, but there will be some snow along Highway 16 and up towards Cold Lake. Red Deer, not much for snow until you get to Saturday morning. I think you might see some snow Saturday morning. Southern foothills and mountain parks, you've got a snowfall warning in effect there. And this region right here, 10 to 20, some spots maybe closer to 25 or 30 centimeters worth of snow. And so you've got a snowfall warning in effect for Hinton, Edson, and up towards Grand Cache. You also have, especially for the southern parts of the Icefields Parkway, a snowfall warning. Here in the city, potential is there for anywhere between 2 and maybe as much as 15 centimeters in the area by the end of tomorrow. I think some of the heavier pockets are probably in northern parts of the region. 10 to 15, yeah, it's possible. 2 to 5 is possible as well. I think the most likely range, given the fact that a lot of this is going to be melting for a while on contact before it starts to stack up, 5 to 10-ish by the end of the day tomorrow. And most of that's going to be on snow-covered or icy areas. More frequently traveled roadways going to be a little bit warmer, and so it's just more sloppy. You also have some wind for tomorrow afternoon, so the evening commute is going to be ugly in and around the Edmonton area and west. -4 Fort McMurray tomorrow afternoon, -2 in Grand Prairie. Should get to about 6 in Red Deer, just cloudy in Red Deer. And then tomorrow night into Saturday, you get a chance of some light snow. 2 degrees tomorrow, windy, gusts to about 30 or 40 kilometers per hour, and that snow for the spring equinox. Not a bad first weekend of spring. 2 and 5 for daytime highs Saturday, Sunday. There's a little bit bigger cool down coming for a couple days, middle of next week, though, with daytime highs back below 0 Wednesday, Thursday. That is your forecast.
A basketball player on a local high school team stands less than 3 feet tall, but still has star player status. CTV's David Owasik introduces us to an athlete that only stops playing when the batteries are dead.
Here in Fort Saskatchewan, high school students hit the gym with their designated free throw shooter. His agility, remarkable. His shooting, all over the place all the time. But his look, 2'5", 140 pounds, not at all a concern.
We focus slightly less on overall design and more on quality.
Nothing artificial about what it takes to ultimately put the ball in the basket. Solving problems just as tough when trying to find success as a group.
The community and everyone working together and just all of us pursuing the same goal.
The students in the Sting Robotics program recently took their shooter to Vancouver to compete in what's called the first robotic competition, and it's a good thing robots don't sleep.
We had to actually leave about 3 in the morning to leave on the plane to head straight to the competition at 7 in the morning.
Every team had the same challenge: build a robot that hit the court running and tried to make it rain with as many shots as possible. A game, but with real-world parameters.
We are looking at absolute real-time engineering. We are looking at solving issues under tight time constraints and very tight budgets.
They came in 6th, and while winning would have been nice, turning theoretical principles from a classroom into actual feedback on a basketball court is being chalked up as the ultimate victory.
A lot of them have said to me multiple times that it was some of the best experiences that they had during their high school career.
And while these 3 grade 12 students will move on, using this as a foundation for the future.
It'd be pretty sweet to see something that I've helped design out in space somewhere.
For me, it's also pretty much engineering as well.
A competition like that is definitely something that you'll remember in your lifetime.
Staying behind, the robot they built, and the next group of students to tweak and improve and get ready for next year's competition and their shot. David Wasik, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. Have a great night.